All right, welcome back to Just the Facts. This time we're going to talk about beach access. We're going to talk about the hard issue that apparently has become, this is like a hot button, very emotional item throughout Florida, and that is beaches, private or public. Look, the Constitution makes it very clear that you have a right to security in your belongings, and one of those things is your land. Your land deed says what your yard is, and anybody who trespasses on your yard, you can expect that the county is going to come out and enforce your rights. The same is true on the beach. What has gotten us to where we're at right now is that in Walton County, for years and years, the county commissioners refused to actually spend taxpayer dollars to ensure that there would always be public access for the people. And then when the value of the land got so high and people started demanding access to the public or to the spaces, instead of that county recognizing that it had a responsibility to provide that, they just tried to pass a blanket law saying all the beaches and all the property that was once private is now public. Well, clearly you can't do that. We have a constitution and a rule of law that says that if there's a public interest, we have a mechanism called eminent domain whereby the government can take that property for the public use. But you can't just wipe out all those private rights with a broad stroke of a pen. That's what House Bill 631 said, is that county commissions, you can't do that. That if there is in fact a public interest and a long-standing public interest in using that land, then you have to go to court just like you would for any other eminent domain, and you have to make your case. Okay? That's the proper way to balance public interest and private rights. Now, it has become such a vogue thing to talk about that I'm really stunned at how many Republican office holders that I hear talking about things like the beach belongs to everybody. If the beach is held in the public trust, then yes, it belongs to everybody. But anything for which somebody has a private deed, that is we as Republicans especially, but all Americans should recognize that if the government can come and take away from those people just because the mob wants it, or I should yeah. So we have to understand, as Republicans, this is a platform, a plank of our platform, but as Americans, all of us should understand, the government can't just come and take away a private property because the masses want it. Nobody wants mob rule, but that's exactly what will happen if, just because there's a large number of people who want to take away that private right, then those folks just lose their private rights. It just doesn't work that way. At the core of this issue is local governments like Walton County, and Escambia County is a little bit in the same boat ourselves right now, not willing to spend the money to buy the land to guarantee the public access. Well, that's not happening on my watch. We have a restore project that I put in. It's one of my first 2 restore projects that is not specific to this parcel or that parcel. It's specific to the entire island of Perdido Key, and it says that it is in the public interest to have public access to the land, so we are going to use restore money to buy remaining beachfront land and hold it forever for the people of Escambia County. Now, property values are going up. They're going up every day. So the reality is that property on the beach is never going to be cheaper than it is today. Today is the right time to start buying up as much of that beach access as we can, because as the neighborhoods to the north of us, like Beulah, continue to expand, those people are going to want beach access as well. If we fail to plan for them today and fail to buy for them today, then we'll be standing there wringing our hands wondering, what are we going to do? We don't have to do that. We're not in the situation that Walton was in. We have the money in the form of the restore funds, and we have the opportunity to buy up as much of that beach access property as we can for the benefit of citizens going forward. I'm going to continue to fight for that, and I'm going to continue to get pushback for it, apparently. But this is as basic a thing as I can think of. You have a choice of either going to court and fighting with people, or of using that exact same money, instead of paying for lawyers, pay for land and actually build access that our children will be able to use. I'm sure this discussion will continue to rage on through the political season. It's a particularly hot button item for our senator's race, and I think actually that's really where most of the angst about this has come from. But the reality is, if you truly believe in the Constitution, if you believe in the principles of the Republican Party, you recognize that the government should not be taking things away from private citizens for the public good without the due process of law. That's what we have always done here in Escambia County, and quite frankly, it's worked out really well. But why are we fussing about that? Because it looks good in the Pensacola News Journal, but why are we chasing after those ideas when in fact we have the ability to work together, buy the land now, and make it accessible to citizens? I'm going to go with the second choice. It's often said, I'm going to fight for you as your elected official. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to work. And working together, we can actually secure public access for people on Perdido Key for the foreseeable future.